You can filter the routes that are being redistributed using route maps. In addition to that, you can specify the metrics, the metric types inside of those route maps. So essentially, you can manipulate the behavior of the routes on an individual by individual basis as they are being redistributed. However, there's a lot of moving parts here when it comes to redistribution with route maps. You will have the either axis list or prefix list that you're trying to match inside of that route map. You'll have different set conditions inside of that route map. You might even have the route map in the wrong order, or it's even possible that you are referencing a completely incorrect route map. So there's a lot of different commands that you're going to be responsible for in order to troubleshoot a redistribution issue that is applying route maps. You'll need to look at the route map itself using show route map. You'll need to identify if it's a prefix list or axis list that is being utilized with that route map. So the show IP prefix list command comes into play, or the show axis list command. You'll also want to verify the redistribute command that has been issued in the running config. So show running config pipe to router OSPF. You might even want to look at the route map in the routing config using the show running config pipe to include route map. Here's the issue we have in our topology right now. Users in the 172.16.32.128 network are indicating that they can't reach resources anywhere in the EIGRP autonomous system except for 10.110/28. Confused? You access R5, you type in show ping 10.1.1.1 in order to ping the 10.110/28 network. And the ping's successful. So then you decide, let's check out the 16 network. Nope, that fails. So then you decide to check out the 33 network or the 32 network. No, that fails too. So you've identified or confirmed that the issue exists. Looking at the output of the show IP route command, the routing table in R5 indicates that the only 10 network that R5 knows about is 10.110/28. Wow. So it only knows about one of those networks in the EIGRP autonomous system. It doesn't know about any of the other ones. On R4, you experience the same thing. Show IP route, you only see that single network listed. So you have a feeling that there's something wrong with redistribution. If only one of the routes are being redistributed, there must be some type of filter in place with a route map. So on R3, you type in show IP protocols, go down to the OSPF section, and you can see that redistributing external routes from EIGRP 100 with metric map to 35 include subnets and redistribution. Doesn't indicate that there's any route map at all. You want to verify on R3 the OSPF database, show IP OSPF database, to see if anything's being redistributed, those type 5 LSAs. And yeah, only one of them is, 10.110. But then you remember, wait a second, the routes have to be in the routing table to be redistributed. So you type in show IP route EIGRP. And are they there? Yep, they're all there. So you're confirming all the little pieces of information that must be true to perform redistribution. And the routes are in the table, but they're not being redistributed. You even saw redistribution was configured. So now you type in show run pipe to section router OSPF, and you'll notice in this output that there is a route map attached, even though show IP protocols does not indicate that a route map was attached. So what is this route map? This route map is called EIGRP to OSPF. EIGRP to OSPF. Show route map. Let's copy and paste that route map name. And it says here that it is a permit sequence. So a permit sequence means redistribute. So we're going to redistribute anything that matches this sequence number of 10. And when we redistribute it, we're going to set its metric to 100. So what is the match clause? It's a prefix list called PFL EIGRP underscore routes. So we analyze this prefix list. Oops, we don't have to do that. We can type in show IP prefix list PFL EIGRP routes. We can see that it's only permitting 10.110/28. So your first reaction might be, oh, the prefix list is incorrect. Whoa, slow down. Slow down. Be careful here. Are you wanting every single route that's being redistributed to be treated the way sequence 10 is telling it to be treated, with a metric of 100 while being redistributed? Think about that for a second. Is that how you want it treated? If that's how you want it treated, then it's the prefix list that needs to be adjusted to include the other routes. But according to our documentation, that's not the case. We want the other ones to be redistributed, but we don't want their metric set to 100. We want their metric set to 35 as indicated in the redistribute command. So what can we do? Well, in this case, the route map's the problem. You see, we only have one sequence for the route map. What happens if you don't match this sequence? You are not redistributed because there's the implicit deny all route map sequence at the end. You don't see it. It's there, though. Sequence infinity, if you want to call it. Deny, meaning do not redistribute. So we need to add another empty sequence, specifically an empty permit sequence. So let's do that. Route map. What was the name of that route map? It's EIGRP to OSPF. Route map EIGRP to OSPF. And let's give it a sequence number of 100. Just set it up there. And since I didn't specify permit or deny, it automatically defaults to permit. I'm not going to put a match condition because if I don't put a match condition, it means match all. I'm not going to put a set condition because I don't want to set any values. I just want it to take the default values that I've specified in the redistribute command. So let's look at the output of show route map again. Now we have our sequence number of 100, which is empty, meaning match everything else. So now, everything should be redistributed. However, only this particular entry, 10.1.1.0/28, should have a metric of 100. Everybody else should have a metric of 35 during redistribution. And since our redistribute command, show IP, show run, pipe to section router OSPF, since the output of this command says that we are going to add a metric of 35 and a metric type of 1, they're all going to be E1s. Every one of them is going to be E1, but only 10.1.1.0/28 is going to have a metric type of 100. So let's see now on R4 if that is true. And there they are. Let's verify it. We have a metric of 101, so 100 plus 1, and then the rest are 35 plus 1. So in this case, the problem was with the route map. The route map was not configured correctly. We were missing the catch-all permit sequence at the end, which overrides the implicit deny all. So now if we go back to R5, we should have connectivity. Connectivity there, and connectivity there.